The first trimester can be scary for a whole range of reasons. Whether you've had a previous loss, maybe it's taken you a long time to get to this point, you've been trying for a really long time. And often during the first trimester, everything feels so uncertain because you might not be showing yet, so you haven't told a lot of people yet. Maybe you don't have a lot of symptoms yet. And all of that combined can make you feel a little bit afraid, nervous, scared, and you're probably also feeling excited, a little bit apprehensive, wondering what pregnancy and motherhood is going to be like for you. So it's all the feelings all at once, and in today's practice, we're just going to allow ourselves some time and space to turn inwards, to move safely in our body during the first trimester. And hopefully after this class, we'll feel a little bit more calm, a little bit more centered, and a little bit more ready for this pregnancy, but also for this baby. Let's get onto the mat. Let's start our practice today in child's pose. I like to use bolsters whenever I'm doing a pregnancy yoga class, just because it allows you that little bit of support to make extra space for the belly. Most importantly though, just remember you don't want to put any compression on the belly. We want to make this area nice and soft. If you don't have bolsters, you can use rolled up blankets, pillows, cushions. They will work equally as well. Or you can just position your arms in child's pose so that you're not putting any pressure on the belly. So come on down into your child's pose, resting on the bolster. And I want you to allow your entire body to get heavy in this position. So you'll see that my knees are quite wide and open. So a little bit of gentle opening through the hips and groin as well. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a long, slow exhalation out through the nose. Arriving here in your body today, in this practice, and also in awareness of your baby. Breathing in and breathing out and softening. We start to allow pregnancy to soften us, to slow us down. Biologically, it naturally wants us to do this, to turn inward, to give our energy to growing a baby. To give yourself that gift as well of slowing down, of softening and relaxing. Good. On your next breath, I'm going to slowly come up, coming into our cat-cow. So in early pregnancy, we can still practice the full cat-cow. We don't have that significant arch in the low back where we need to be a little bit more careful towards the end of the third trimester. So with hands underneath shoulders, knees under hips, just really slowly inhaling, lifting the tail, lifting the head. And then exhaling again, really slowly rounding the back, noticing any parts that might feel a bit sticky or tight. And then inhaling, moving again. So feel free to move with your breath, keeping it nice and gentle. Letting yoga be a little bit of an exploration of the body, the changing body and how it's feeling. As your body is changing daily, it can be really good to tune in daily, even just a few movements like this. Checking in with, how do I feel today? What does my body need today? Good. And then slowly come on up into a high kneel. So you'll be up on your knees and they can be underneath the hips or they can be together. It doesn't really matter. I find underneath the hips a little bit wider gives me a little bit more space. I just want you to reach one hand down. So getting a really nice stretch through the side body. If you want to, you could add the arm on, but you don't have to. Drop the ear down towards the shoulder as well. Feeling this stretch down the side of the neck. See if you can keep your breathing steady. Again, we're really just checking in with the body today. How do I feel? What do I need? Slowly come on back up. And reach the hand down the opposite side. Sometimes we think of yoga as needing to be these big poses, warriors, strong standing poses, intense twists. And then when we fall pregnant, we can feel like, I don't know how to do that anymore, and give up. But really, yoga is just being connected, moving mindfully, and even just these really small movements that don't look like much to anyone else, but they can feel really good in our body. That's just as important yoga as anything else that we see. Good. Coming on back up, back to center. Just draw the shoulders up towards the ears on the inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to breathe out through the mouth. Like you're sighing out any tension or stress that you might be holding in the shoulders. Inhale them up. As you exhale, drop them away. Good. And again, inhale. Nice. Let's take a few shoulder rolls here. So drawing them up towards the ears, squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. If this isn't comfortable and you're finding it too hard on the knees, you could take a seat back. Really doesn't matter now. If you're more comfortable, you could even sit up on a bolster, have it between the legs, rolling the shoulders back and down. And then rolling them forward, so squeezing them together behind you, and then almost like you're bringing them forward towards each other in front of you, and then round. So really creating a bit of mobility through the upper back, which can get quite tight. And is a good one to remember once you have baby in your arms, because this space often gets really tight when we're hunched over a baby all day long. Good. Coming back to center and just let the spine come to a neutral position. Let's do a little bit more work into the neck now. So let the ear drop down towards the shoulder, just like we did in the side stretch before. This time we're going to bring the hand to the head and gently draw the head down whilst also gently pressing the head into the hand. So a bit of counter pressure here. Keep it nice and gentle. Full, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Really trying to stay present to here and now. I know the mind wants to wander. Mine does too. See if you can keep it here and now. Good. And then shift the gaze, looking down towards the belly button, and bring the hand to the crown of the head now. So again, gently drawing down whilst also gently pressing into the hand. So the stretch you might feel more now down the back of the neck. Keeping the breath long. Good. Release. Bring the head back up to center. And then we come to the opposite side. So ear down towards shoulder. Hand gently pressing on the head. Head pressing into the hand. Full deep breaths here. If you're finding that your mind is wandering, perhaps come back to that breath, maybe even counting the breath. In for 4. And then out for 5. In for 4. And then out for 5. In for 4. And then out for 5. Good. Shift the gaze down towards the legs, hand to the back of the head or the crown of the head. And then same deal, gently pressing head into hand into head. Full, long, deep breaths. Good. And then gently release. Bring the head and neck back up. We're going to bring our bolster back in now for a little bit of supported malasana. So you don't have to do malasana on a bolster when you're pregnant. You can just be in your regular malasana off your feet like this. However, I find it's a lot more comfortable and a lot more of a restorative pose when we bring in the bolster. So just sitting on the edge of the bolster, heels are grounded, and then again, just gentle counter pressure, pressing the elbows inside the knees. See if you can also find some length through the spine. It's always good to remind ourselves of this throughout pregnancy, because the more length we can create, the more space we can create for baby. Helps you to feel better in your body as well. Just gently pressing thighs into elbows, elbows into thighs. Let the belly be soft, breathing here, face and jaw relaxed. Let's bring one hand down towards the foot and just gently reach up, inhaling the arm to the sky. And then exhale, let's swap sides. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Again, just noticing how our body feels. Inhale. And exhale. There's no right or wrong. You can't go too slow or too fast. Just being present and aware of our body, how it feels at this stage of pregnancy. Maybe connecting in with our baby, if that feels right, but maybe it doesn't yet, and that's okay. Some women don't feel that connection until later stages of pregnancy when they feel movement. And exhale, come back to center. I want you to take both legs wide now. So I find staying up on a bolster or a cushion really helpful, because if you've got really tight hamstrings, it just helps to tilt the pelvis forward a little and takes a little bit of pressure off the legs. Gently draw the toes back towards you. So always stretching super gently when we're pregnant. Our body is releasing relaxant, which helps to release the ligaments and tendons which we need for the pelvis to open, for baby to pass through. Unfortunately though, it releases all ligaments and tendons, so you're more susceptible to injury by overstretching. So we just want to keep it nice and gentle. So you want to feel the stretch and then just find that edge and just stay there. We're not pushing through anything. We're not trying to become super flexible. We just want to keep the flexibility that we already have and feel good in the body. Breathing here. Perhaps noticing where you're feeling the stretch. Is it up the back of the thighs? Is it through the inner thighs? Good, and then slowly leaning the weight back into the sit bones so that you can bring the legs in. I just want you to find a comfortable seat now. As we come to finish, I'm going to do a little bit of both a meditation practice, but also a vocalization practice. And what I mean by that is that we're starting to use the voice as a tool to relax, to calm the nervous system. And that's going to be really helpful during birth, because during birth, sometimes our usual breathing, our usual movements aren't enough. And actually vocalizing, which helps to relax and soften through the jaw, and therefore the lower parts of the body follow, can be really helpful in giving us a focus point, but also helping us to really soften and stay in our zone during labor and birth. So in today's practice, we're just going to be using the vocalization of Om, which you may have done in regular yoga classes. And I want you to simply focus on the way that that vibration feels in your mouth. We're going to put the hands on the belly just to connect in with baby during this practice. And I want you to imagine that as you're chanting Om, that sound, that vibration that you feel in the mouth, in the jaw, is vibrating around baby, and that they're experiencing this feeling as well. All right, let's do this together. So with the hands on the belly, soften through the shoulders, find some length in the spine. We'll close down the eyes because that can help take the gaze inward. Deep breath in through the nose. Just allow your hands to rest in the lap. Just breathing here, being present in your body today. Present with your baby. And present to all the emotions, all the mixed emotions. Present to any fears. Present to the excitement. Present to the hope. Perhaps present to anxiety as well. Every emotion is valid. Every sensation is valid. Just allow yourself to be here and now. When you're ready to just start to bring ourselves back. Maybe taking a few more shoulder rolls. Maybe doing a few pelvic circles. Just bringing our awareness back into the body, into this space and time. And bringing the hands to heart, bowing down the head. And I want you to honor yourself here in this moment for showing up for what can be a difficult practice. Sometimes it's easier to distract ourselves rather than sitting with difficult emotions and sensations, the newness of it all. So honor yourself for giving you this time today. It's always an honor to share these practices in this very special time with you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this practice and would like other classes for pregnancy, for preparing for birth, and for motherhood, I'll leave the link below for my online yoga circle. We'd love to see you there. See you soon.